I think my mother, who was probably observing me as a child, realized that I had an instinct for character, and at a young age, that is a clear sign that that child has a bent, as we used to say.
We were distinct. Even when we were a team, we were totally
Acting
different.
just sort of wells up in me and becomes part of my being when I'm doing it.
You're back on Broadway after, I think, 25 years. What brought you back?
I purchased a small condo in New York because I wanted to come to New York and enjoy it. But of course, the minute the word got out, they immediately started thinking in terms of a show or a play. So my good friend Terence McNally proffered this play to me and said, would you consider doing this? And we were going to do it off Broadway. So I said yes. And suddenly it was no longer off Broadway.
Let me ask you though, what's kind of changed about Broadway since you've been away for such a long time?
Well, what's happened is that there seems to be a very narrow spot for straight drama. It's all big musicals. But for the main thrust is towards bringing in the tourists, making the big money, which is what they get on those tickets for the musicals.
Everyone thought we were lesbians because we were so good.
Let's talk about the play. What attracted you to Deuce and the character of Leona Muller?
The fact that she had been a great star tennis player, you see, and who had played with another partner who was the absolute antithesis of her.
I've never understood people who have difficulty in admitting their age.
I admit it every morning when I drag myself out of bed and look in the bathroom mirror.
So it's simply, there's great character studies of the two women. And characters always interested me. It's always been the root of my success as an actress.
In terms of the play, lots of dialogue. From what I understand, something like 6,000 words that you had
I
to
never
memorize.
counted them, but that's what somebody told me.
That's what somebody told me.
Maybe Terence said
Was it
that.
tough to do?
I'll tell you why it's so difficult, because we have no break at all. When you usually do a straight play, you're walking around, you associate a movement with a line, and that will trigger your memory to what that line is, because of your hand is going on the table and picking up the glass. Well, we don't have any of that.
Are you a fan of tennis? Do you play tennis?
I play tennis. I'm not anymore. I could, I guess, because I've had everything replaced, new hips, new knee. I may get another
Well, you
new
look
knee,
great.
so when I get the other knee, I think I can play tennis again.
That's terrific.
I'm not giving up.
Easy now.
You've had a lot of award nominations. You've won 4 Tonys, Mame, Gypsy, Dear World, and
All
Sweetie
musicals.
Tom. All musicals.
Yes.
You miss it.
Yes.
These are probably the worst pies.
I love music. It's like a lift under you all the way through. It's always there.
Of the roles that you've played, do you have a favorite?
Well, I have to go back to the beginnings. I love Gaslight.
Up in a balloon, boys. Up.
Did you
that one
realize
off.
what a great role it was when you were going through it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think no, I didn't. I was too young, I was only 17 when I started it, and I really had no experience at all, except training.
What about The Manchurian Candidate, which was recently remade? I'm curious if you've seen the remake and what you thought of Meryl Streep in the role that you really created.
Well, I thought she was enormously effective, but I thought the role was written quite differently, and they tinkered with the script to the extent that there was no longer any suspense. Well, there couldn't be, because anybody who'd seen the original knew exactly what she was up to.
One last step. And then when I take power, they will be pulled down and ground into dirt for what they did to you.
But whereas the people who saw the original did not, and I think that was the shock value when you discovered of who she was.
You are to shoot the presidential nominee through the head.
I'm so proud to be in it, and that role, I think, was one of the most, evil women that ever was.
Right.
But it takes, I hope, a rather dull, nice lady to play a really evil, nasty woman.